Hi, my name's Haley Zeidman, and I wanted to go over what to expect in your first 90 days using Monat. So first off, though, I wanted to congratulate you on investing in yourself and your 90-day hair transformation. And so what we noticed is that over 90 days, people can go from being very frustrated with their hair, having thinning, having luster issues, having extremely damaged hair, to loving their hair in 90 days. And the reason why that happens, and what we need to understand before we even talk about what to expect, is how other shampoos work versus how Monat's working. And so other shampoos, what they do is they use wax and silicone to encase your individual strands, really just laminating your hair. And so at first they feel soft, but over time your hair becomes laminated and it cannot accept hydration and nutrients, and it becomes weighed down. And then when it can't accept the hydration, then it just becomes frizzy and dry, and that's where hair frustrations come into play. From the scalp level, your individual hair follicles can be clogged with the wax, the silicone, dirt, and oil. And that over time, instead of it actually makes smaller hairs over time. And so instead of your hair having this much room to grow, it only has this much room to grow. And so your hairs become tiny and less strong, and that leads to breakage. And so we've said no to that, and we're moving forward to Monat. And so what Monat's gonna do over the next 90 days, it's gonna deep clean your hair strands. It's gonna remove the wax and silicone. It's gonna deep clean your hair follicles. It's gonna get all that dirt, all that oil out of there so that you can grow bigger, fatter hairs, and so that your hair can accept hydration, nutrients, and moisture, so that it can become super shiny, healthy, and soft. Like my hair is extremely soft. And I have about twice as much hair as when I started using these products. So that doesn't happen instantly because, frankly, you didn't encase your hair in wax and silicone instantly. You've been doing it for years. And so it takes some time to remove that buildup. And so what we notice in the first 30 days, and then I'm going to talk about the 90 days, but in the first 30 days, what we can see, most people, what they notice is their scalp feels squeaky clean, and they mostly only see good things. But they're gonna see improved texture, improved softness, a reduction in tangling. Their hair is gonna feel softer. It's gonna feel more, it's gonna have more volume, and it's gonna be less weighed down. And you're gonna start to see baby hairs. That's a beautiful thing. You see baby hairs just coming out all on here. You can see them down here. I still have some. I've been using it for over a year. So you start to see the baby hairs. But some people may experience some negative things. Frankly, the negative things are not terribly common, but you need to know about them so that you can say, so if you start to experience them, you don't freak out. You just know this is temporary and it's part of the detox process. And so first thing that you may see is some flaking. And so Monat is deep cleaning your scalp, and it's stimulating your scalp, improving the circulation. And so you may see some skin flaking off. Some people who already have dandruff may see an explosion of their dandruff, and then it dies down again. Sometimes it goes away. People do use these shampoos to help with their dandruff. So some flaking, some itching. Itching is a beautiful thing. You're like, what? Yes. You know what? Why? Because that means that your hair follicles are waking up. And so a lot of you have invested in these products to regrow hair. And so that itching is your new hairs breaking through your skin, and also your follicles being stimulated and waking up and starting to grow new hairs. And so that's an exciting thing. Again, temporary. All these symptoms are temporary. You might see a change in oil production. Most people see a significant reduction in oil production. So for example, I had one client, and she was a daily washer, and she was able to transition to a weekly washer within that first month. Some people see an increase in oil production, and that is something that can happen, but it just happens as Monat is starting to balance the pH, and it can get a little confused, like, am I dry? Am I hydrated? What's going on? And again, temporary, it resolves. So you can see difference in oil production, flaking, dryness of the hair. Dryness of the hair. Okay, so this is something that I personally did experience. My hair became like gummy and it kind of felt dry. And so I called up my rep, what is going on with my hair? And so it turns out that as Monat is deep cleaning your hair, the wax and the silicone only comes off a little bit at a time. And so that's the residue of the wax and silicone. You're feeling it as it's coming off. And so again, temporaries usually resolves within the first month. And then lastly, shedding. So shedding is a very rare detox symptom that we see, and and it's shedding of already dead hairs. And so what happens is your old shampoo uses the wax and the silicone, and there's your hair follicle right here. And so old hairs, already dead and detached hairs, can become encased and clogged in that hair follicle, blocking any kind of new growth. And it can be clogged in dirt and oil, wax and silicone. And so Monat's gonna deep clean that follicle, and with it's gonna go that already dead hair. You need that already dead hair to move on so that you can have room for your brand new baby hair to come through so it can get the oxygen and the nutrients that it needs. And so shedding, even though it sounds bad, it's a good thing. And it's definitely temporary. Usually there's a brand new hair right there after it. Now, people that I see who have significant shedding, again, I do not see this very often, but people who have significant shedding usually fall in the following categories. One, they recently lost a lot of weight. Weight loss can just cause your hair to die anyway as toxins re-enter the bloodstream. And so if you fall in that category, you're likely to get shedding. Two, they have a particularly oily scalp, which is encasing those dead hairs. Those hairs should have left a long time ago. Three, they may have had a medical crisis in the last 6 months. Or four, if they're under an extreme amount of stress. So think death of the family or just total chaos. So those are the risk factors for significant shedding. Most people don't notice shedding at all. Let's see. So lastly, okay, so that is the first month. Again, everything temporary. By the second month, most people are having a great time. They're loving their hair. They're starting to see even more new growth, and the hair growth, it just increases over time. As the follicles are getting their regular stimulation, it just increases over time. And so the second month, you're really just, you're ending your detox period and you're just starting to see improvements. And by the third month, what do we see? This is exciting. We see improved luster and, luster and shine. We see better anchoring, more hair, fatter hairs. You see soft hair, better texture, less tangles, better volume. So all these things. So with that, I can hear my baby crying. That's part of working from home. But please reach out if you have any questions about any of these things, and have a great day.